up, BFM? This is Big Tone coming at you from Big Tone Productions Beats and Feasts. You know what time it is. It's time for another cooking video. Today we're going to do a good old-fashioned beef stew. Warm up the insides on a nice cold winter day. And if you like the video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on your post notifications, and let's get started with some beef stew. Alright, BFM, so as I always do, I'm going to start with my supporting cast. So of course the main ingredient is beef. This is called beef stew. Now I do want to give a little bit of education about beef stew. What I found out, there's no real origin of beef stew. Beef stew has been around since man has been able to create fire, and they had some type of solid protein, some type of beef, or whether it was out in the woods. So it's been around forever. They have no original origin. In some places that you look, some of the original origin stems from Japan, some stems from France. So basically stew just means a long simmering process that breaks down tough meats or proteins. So that's basically all stew means. So you could have a fish stew, you could have a beef stew, you could have venison. Doesn't matter. It's just a long cooking process that makes tough ingredients tender. So my supporting cast, as I said, the beef here. I got some chopped up celery and carrots. And then of course I'm going to be putting in potatoes here. And I got these in water, so I can't really tilt them for you, just so they don't get brown. And then I got some really coarsely or roughly cut up onions here. Now this is, well, it's not really my secret ingredient, but it's tomato puree. Now you can use tomato paste if you like, but I use tomato puree. And then of course we have my beef broth. I'm using a little bit of frozen peas here. And then I'm using my Wonder flour, and I think this is how it's pronounced, but Wonder. And this is a quick acting flour. If you watch some of my other videos, I've used this as well. But we're gonna sprinkle a little bit of that on here. We got my lye seasoning salt. This is a couple little bay leaves that I put in another container. And this is some fresh thyme, or not fresh, this is canned thyme. Thyme there. We got some black pepper, some garlic powder, a little bit of cumin, and of course my pink Himalayan sea salt. So that's really all the ingredients that goes into this. This is a very simple, easy meal, guys. It's a one-pot meal. Pressure cooker, you guys know my best friend is the pressure cooker. So let's get started piecing this together. First thing we're going to do is season our beef. So as I always do, I start with my pink Himalayan sea salt. I got my ground beef here. Matter of fact, there we go. Can you see it? There we go. Got my ground beef. I'm going to season this pretty liberally with salt. Pink Himalayan sea salt. And we're going to use my black pepper here. Just regular old black pepper. There we go. Season it up good. And we're going to use a garlic powder. Season that up nicely. And a little bit of my Lawry seasoning salt. Alright guys, so with that, I'm just going to move this around in here a little bit so I can get all sides of the beef. And we're going to throw a little bit more seasoning on it because I didn't get all sides, I was just doing the top. There we go. Our black pepper. Garlic powder. There we go. And again, my lye seasoning salt. There we go. Season it up nice. You're moving around in here. Make sure that seasoning gets on all the meat. And of course, that won't be my last time seasoning. Alright guys, so very simple. We're going to fire up the pressure cooker here. We're going to put this in sear mode. I've got my stew meat in here browning in the power pressure cooker on sear mode. Mixing it up real good, so we're going to get that brown. I'm going to add a little bit of my Wonder flour here. Now what this is going to do is going to coat the meat, and it's also going to create a little bit of thickening agent. See, my beef is cooking up here nicely, and that Wonder flour has started, making a nice bit of I don't know, I want to say a little bit of a gravy, but that's going to be a nice thickening agent. So we're going to do this in two processes basically. So to this, I'm gonna simply add my tomato puree. And I'm gonna add my beef broth. I'm not gonna add it all. About half of this is 32 ounces, about 16 ounces of beef broth. We're gonna stir that up just a little bit. All right, just like that. Then I'm gonna add a little bit more seasoning, but I'm also gonna add 1 bay leaf to this. And I'm gonna add a little bit more Lawry seasoning salt. And I'm gonna add a nice whopping tablespoon of garlic. And if I didn't tell you about this earlier, you know I'm not gonna go anywhere without my garlic. So it's about a teaspoon of garlic here. This is about a teaspoon of garlic. Now also to the meat, I'm gonna add just a tad bit of cumin, give it that earthy feeling. And that's it, guys. So I'm gonna stir this up a little bit. We're gonna cook this in the pressure cooker. And like I said, this is a 2-part process for cooking. We're gonna stir this up and I'm gonna cook this for about 10 minutes in the pressure cooker. And then at that point, we're gonna add the rest of your ingredients. I'm gonna put the top on it, lock it down, and then I'm gonna pressurize it here by lining up the little line with the little lock valve here. We're just gonna set it. We're gonna do meat chicken button. There's also a stew button here. I don't use it very often, but I usually just use a high pressure. So meat chicken button, we're gonna increment it up to high and bring it back down to 15 minutes. So in a second, you're gonna see it going around and around. There it goes. It's gonna build pressure at this point, and I'll be back in about, usually takes, I'm gonna do it for 10 minutes, and the meat will be nice and tender at that point. But I'll do it for 10 minutes, then I'll be back and we'll add the rest of the ingredients. So back here, as you can see, the meat has been cooked for about 10 minutes. I let it go a little bit longer than that. So I'm gonna pull a little piece of meat out here in my spoon, and it's perfect. Perfect, not overcooked, but it's just perfect. So to this, we're gonna add the rest of the ingredients. First thing I'm gonna add is my onion. Throw that in there. Next thing I'm gonna add is my celery and carrots. We're gonna mix these up in here real good. All right, and then after that, we're gonna add my potatoes next. All right, so we have all the components here that I told you about earlier, except for the green peas. So the last thing I'm gonna add here to this is what I always say, you gotta season your vegetables. So I'm gonna add a little bit of Lawry seasoning salt to the top. A little bit of my pink Himalayan sea salt. Of course, it gotta come with my black pepper. There we go. And some garlic powder. All right, guys. So to this, all we're gonna do now is put the lid on it. I'm gonna add the rest of my beef broth here. Oh, I forgot one thing, guys. I did forget one thing. That's 64 ounces, no, it's 32 ounces of beef broth. And I forgot to add a little bit of thyme. We're gonna add a little dash of thyme here. All right, so we're gonna stir this up just a little bit, see if we can incorporate some of the flavors down in there. There we go. So now your vegetables only need between 5 and 8 minutes, depending on how many you use. I'll probably put this on for about another 8 minutes. The last thing I'm gonna add is my green peas. Peas take no time, so I'm just gonna add those in there. These are frozen green peas. And we're just gonna mix it up a little bit. The peas will cook through the residual heat here. We're just gonna stir them up a little bit. Look at that, look how thick it is. I've already plated this up in a bowl. Another perfection in the bowl, guys. It's a quick, easy meal for you guys. Hey, it's Not much of it. It's not a whole lot better on a nice cold winter day. So I'm gonna take a little bite here. As you can see, I got my little bit of parsley on top. I'm gonna grab a little bit of potatoes and see if I can't get a chunk of beef here as well. Oh man, man. Here's a chunk of beef. Guys, melt in your mouth. A pressure cooker makes it so tender, guys. Hey, if you like this video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Turn on your post notifications. I post a video every Friday. And make sure you share the video, guys. I really appreciate it. Hey, this is Big Tone signing off. Peace.